Well, friendship comes in many forms, but some are undeniable from the start. Well, this was true for a Billings soldier deployed overseas for the first time away from home and in search of companionship. He found it in an unlikely source. Here's Q2's Andrea Lutz with tonight's Positively Montana.
It's a bond that only began a year ago.
She cracks me up.
But long before that, fate was already working its magic.
She came to me at a point in her life when she needed help, and it's like I could always use a friend, but right then it was like, I really needed her, and I think it was just, out of that necessity. We were just there for each other, and our bond has just grown stronger.
We often refer to those serving our country as heroes. Stephen Bonacarrere is an active duty Army Reserve officer with the National Guard. In December of 2019, he was deployed to Kuwait, Iraq, where he in fact became a hero to Sugar Cube.
I called her Sugar Cube just because she's white and she's sweet like a sugar cube.
But she wasn't always such a clean shade of white.
She looked pretty rough. She was muddy all the time because, it was so hot over there. But there was pools of water that she'd lay down in to cool off. She was pretty skinny when I found her because, I'm sure she just lived off scraps or whatever. A lot of the coworkers would say that there was 2 dogs on base, and one of them was really clean and one of them was really dirty. I was like, no, there's just one. So I started feeding her, and then, we got in the pattern of she'd always show up and be there on time.
It's cooling down?
She was so timid around people, and at that point she would approach me and she would actually let me pet her, which was pretty cool, but other people tried to approach her and she just wouldn't have it.
The relationship between a human and a dog is a curious thing. A dog will give unconditional love, but also somehow knows to teach it.
Like a symbiotic relationship. It was like, she was obviously in need of, love and attention, but I was too. I look forward to seeing her every day and every night.
In a war-torn country on the other side of the globe from Montana, fate was well at work. Hi, Mommy. But also at work was reality.
You can't explain to an animal, like, hey, it's been a great 10 months, but I gotta go now. Hope you find someone else.
Hey, baby. Bye-bye.
Good girl. Yeah, now go play.
Stephen reached out to an organization called SPCA International, a global animal rescue.
There's a lot of service members that have brought dogs home with them in the past, and then I was like, okay, how do I do that?
He filled out the paperwork and waited.
I have to know in my heart that I did everything I could to try to bring her home.
Okay, we're set to fly.
Finally, Operation Baghdad Pups came through, sponsoring the cost of vet checkups, vaccinations, and a flight to a new home.
Got her food, and she's marked because we have other dogs going to Canada, so we know this one is the American one from the flag.
Sugar Cube beat Stephen home by 3 days.
She's like, I don't see anything.
I see you.
Many times when we think of a hero, we think of a man in a cape. For Sugar Cube, heroism came in the form of a young soldier from Montana.
Baby, hey, come here. Being over there in that experience, we went through some stuff. It's, you talk with your family, but it's like, they'll never know what that place was like, or what you were going through at that time and period in your life.
It just goes to show, sometimes the force of fate is already working, long before we even know.
Just looking at her and just thinking about all the memories that we shared, and then I'd love to know what her story looked like before I met her and how she got there, and how she survived. I don't know. There's a million different possibilities of what it could have been.
A million possibilities of what could have been, but just one that was meant to end like this. In Billings, Andrea Lutz, MTN News.
Thanks, Andrea. Now, the nonprofit that Stephen used to rescue Sugar Cube serves dogs and cats. The group also has resources in a variety of countries, not just Iraq.